This program is brought to you by Playtime Entertainment, born for happiness.
Hello everyone, tonight the pressure rises. We've officially moved past the preliminary rounds and the path to the grand final starts right here, right now. I'm David Saldran and this is the first semi-finals episode of Bilyonaryo Quiz B for Season 2. So let's get started. In this competition, we welcome back to the Bilyonaryo News Channel studio 3 college students who have already proven their mettle by winning their respective elimination rounds. But now the margin for error has vanished entirely. Only one of them will secure a seat in our grand finals to compete for the 1 million peso grand prize package. And so, expect today's semifinals match between FEU Manila, PLM, and UP Open University to be nothing short of cutthroat and extraordinary. Of course, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors as we prepare for this clash of intellects. We'd like to thank our partners for making this pursuit of excellence possible. Now, let's jump into the heart of the game. It's time to learn Bilyonaryo Quiz B Season 2's semi-final rules. Let's listen in. Today's thrilling semi-finals match showcases 3 advanced rounds that push the sharpest minds to their limits and an incredible 100,000 pesos in total prize money waiting to be claimed. 3 previous weekly winners will compete fiercely in 2 challenging rounds, with the 2 lowest scoring semi-finalists eliminated. The semi-finalist with the highest total score of the day will move on to the next stage, the Bilyonaryo bonus round. He or she also secures an automatic place in the grand finals and is one step closer to the ultimate Bilyonaryo Quiz B goal, the 1 million peso grand prize package. That's right, you heard it right. 100,000 pesos is a lot of pressure indeed. But I'm positive that all our semi-finalists tonight know that this pressure is a privilege for them and for us who are watching. Now let's see if they can turn the crushing weight of privilege into victory. So let's meet our players, beginning with contestant number 1. He's our first semi-finalist, and he turned a lifelong dream of winning a quiz show into reality 3 weeks ago by dominating his BQB elimination competition with precision and calm. So from FEU Manila, he's a 4th-year BS Biology major in Systematics. Everyone, let's welcome Bryan Himor. Come in, Bryan. Hello. Yeah, that's perfect. Bryan, of course, is a musician, and I love those drummer moves. Good to see you, Bryan. Welcome back to the show. All right, let's meet contestant number 2. Our second semi-finalist is a battle-tested scholar from PLM who made a powerful comeback in the round 2 of his own BQB elimination competition. So from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, please welcome Bachelor in Secondary Education student Leoncio. Leroy, good to see you back here on BQB. All right, take your podium, Leroy, because it's time to meet our 3rd contestant, last week's winner. That's right, fresh from his win last week is a distance learner who is proving to the whole country that non-traditional education is just as good, if not even better, at Quiz B's. That's right, please welcome UP Open University's Associate in Arts sophomore, Ramon Francesco Carbon. Welcome back, Ramon. All right, everyone's ready, I hope. In the meantime, we'll see you right after this.
Playtime Entertainment, born for happiness.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Bilyonaryo Quiz B Season 2, the ultimate proving ground for the country's most ambitious collegiate minds. And these gentlemen are no longer strangers to these buzzers, but now the stakes have leveled up. So let's get them acquainted with our round 1 rules. Let's listen in, everyone. Welcome to round 1, the starting point of today's semifinals intellectual challenge. This opening round will feature 12 compelling questions drawn from 6 diverse categories: history, science and technology, arts and literature, math and logic, geography and nature, and general information. Each question is worth 2,000 pesos, so that's a total of 24,000 pesos in prizes up for grabs in this round. The mechanics are simple. The first semi-finalist to buzz in within 5 seconds has another 5 seconds to answer. A correct response earns 2,000 pesos, while an incorrect response opens a chance for stealing, and the next semi-finalist to buzz in has 5 additional seconds to clinch the points. The stakes are high and the adrenaline is palpable. Which semi-finalists will outplay their fellow competitors to take the early lead? Let's find out in round 1 of Bilyonaryo Quiz B Season 2's semi-finals. All right, this is going to be very exciting, our very first semi-final round for Season 2 of BQB. And of course, you've been here before. You're all winners in your elimination round, so you know the rules, you know what it's like. But of course, just to refresh your memory, I have to emphasize that you have to wait for me to acknowledge your name first or your school before you answer, all right? Otherwise, you just might give away your answers for free to your opponents. And you don't want to do that, at least not in a semi-final round such as this one. Okay, so if you're ready, just want to remind our viewers that you guys will be seeing at home with the questions in graphics, of course, printed on your screens, okay, shown on your screens. As for our contestants in the studio, no. All they do is hear it from my own voice or from my own mouth, okay, which is entirely different, a very different experience. So obviously, these guys will have a much harder time, a much tougher time than you will answering at home, okay? Let's begin by testing the buzzers. Bryan, let's start with you. All right, that's loud and clear. How about you, Leroy? That works too. Ramon? All right, that's great. All 3 buzzers working. So let's begin with our first round of questions, different categories. This time, we up the stakes 2,000 pesos or 2,000 points for every correct answer. 12 questions in all in this first round. Okay, would you like history? Let's start with history. Listen carefully. In what city is there a historical marker that contains the Tagalog line or Filipino line, Luklukan ng Pahayagang Reformistang Pilipino? Leroy?
Cavite.
Cavite is incorrect. Anyone like to steal? Bryan, go ahead.
Kawit, Cavite.
Kawit, Cavite. That's also wrong. Ramon, you have 5 seconds to answer. Go ahead.
Madrid.
That was very close. Barcelona, actually. Barcelona. You guys are thinking about local cities, obviously in relation to the Katipunan or to the reform movement. No. It was actually the reform movement in España, in Spain. And this one was in Barcelona. Okay? Let's go to our next question. Science and technology. What is the most used psychoactive drug in the world? Bryan, you know this?
Cannabis.
Cannabis or marijuana, no. Leroy?
Caffeine.
Yes, caffeine. It is legal and widely consumed across most cultures. That's 2,000 points for you. You draw first blood in the competition. Let's go to question that comes after this one. This is arts and literature. Question number 3 now. What online role-playing game is also known, or is also the term for the twilight of the gods in Norse mythology? Leroy?
Elden Ring.
Wrong. Anyone like to steal? Bryan?
Ragnarok.
Yes, Ragnarok. That is correct. It is also the term for the twilight of the gods, at least in Norse mythology, Ragnarok. The game was released in South Korea in 2002. All right, Bryan, you now have 2,000 points. You're tied with Leroy. Ramon's still at, well, no points yet, but don't worry, because this is only question number 4 and still the very first round. So let's continue. Let's try math and logic, okay? Listen carefully. What term describes a number that results in a negative number when squared? Leroy, would you like to try?
Imaginary number.
What term describes... That's correct. Yes, imaginary number. It is denoted by a letter defined as the square root of -1. Imaginary number is correct. 4,000 points for Leroy now. All right, let's go to the next question. Still early on in the game, but let's try geography and nature. So, depending on where you are, what geographical group is called either Nansha, Kwandao Trongsa, or Kepulawan? Bryan.
Typhoon.
Wrong. Ramon?
Paracel Islands.
The Marshall Islands, you said?
Marshall Islands.
No, that's wrong. Leroy, give it a shot. Give it a try.
Hemisphere.
The answer is, that's wrong. The answer is Spratlys, or the Kalayaan group of islands, of course, because this is like disputed and claimed by many other nations in the sea, in the South China Sea, or depending what you want to call it, depending on your point of reference. You have Nansha is China, you have Kwandao Trong Sa, which is Vietnamese, that's how they call that group of islands, and Kepulawan, yes, the Malaysians also claim part of that group of islands. So, Kalayaan, if you're speaking from the Philippine point of view. All right, let's go to our next question now. Question 6. We have 12 questions in all in this round. So halfway point, general information. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. Ramon?
Voice of the people, voice of God.
That's wrong. That's exactly what it is in Latin. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Now, this is also the motto of what Philippine Constitutional Commission? Bryan?
Comelec.
Yes, COMELEC, Commission on Elections. When you vote, that is the voice of the people, okay? So Vox Populi, Vox Dei, you'll find that, of course, in some of the emblems of the Commission on Election, COMELEC. Let's go to our next question. Question number 7. Who was the main subject of the 26-second film shot by Abraham Zapruder? Leroy?
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy or JFK, that is correct. Also considered the most expensive amateur reel of all time. Because of its rarity, its significance, would you believe it's something like 615,000 pesos, or rather dollars, no, dollars, $615,000 per second. Because that's the current value of this short reel film, $16 million. Broken down into seconds, that's the math. Wow. So, JFK, Leroy, you're correct. You're back in the lead. Let's go to our next question. This one will be in science and technology. Everyone, listen in at home. All right, this is a picture quiz, so take a look. Give the name of this celestial body that looks like a battle station from science fiction. What is the name of this? Bryan.
Death Star.
That's wrong. Would anyone like to steal? Ramon?
Millennium Falcon.
Wrong. Leroy?
Phobos.
Answer is Mimas. Mimas is the name of this celestial body. It is actually the smallest major moon of Saturn. Okay, and the reference is to the Death Star, right? Because that's exactly what it looks like. Okay, it has this like crater on one side, and of course the rest of the surface of the moon, and that's why it makes it look like the Death Star in the Star Wars series. All right, let's go to our next question. Question number 9. What national artist combined the names of 3 animals to create his literary pseudonym, Dovelayon?
Jose Garcia Villa.
Jose Garcia Villa, or Villa himself, Jose Villa. That is correct, Ramon. That gives you 2,000 pesos now. You are now back in contention. Fantastic. Let's go to question number 10. So, Coach Mark has 10 players on his roster. Okay? How many ways can he select exactly 5 players to start the game? Again, Coach Mark has 10 players on his roster. How many ways can he select exactly 5 players to start the game? Your time starts now. 5 seconds. Mental math. Or you can do some computations if you wish. Time is up. The answer is 252. All right. That's the answer. None of you got that. Maybe no one even close at that point. But anyway, let's move on. Maybe something that might be more familiar to all of you. This is in geography and nature. Listen carefully. In 537 AD, the unveiling of what world landmark is said to have inspired Emperor Justinian to exclaim, "Solomon, I have surpassed you"? What is this landmark? Bryan?
Colossus of Rhodes.
Wrong. Ramon?
Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Wrong. Leroy, why not?
The Colosseum.
The Colosseum. Well, that seems to be the closest, at least, because Emperor Justinian was indeed a Roman emperor, but an Eastern Roman emperor, a Byzantine emperor. And therefore, he was talking about the unveiling of the Hagia Sophia, okay, the Church of Holy Wisdom, in 537 AD. And the reference to Solomon was, of course, the temple in Jerusalem was supposed to be the most magnificent temple. And Justinian, the emperor, said, "Solomon, I have outdone you or surpassed you." Interesting bit of trivia. Next time you go to Istanbul and see that Christian church turned, of course, Muslim mosque. Let's go to our last question. In general information, what 14-letter word refers to a person who is highly skilled at creating or solving crossword puzzles? Leroy, I thought you'd know this.
Cruciverbalist.
Cruciverbalist is correct. And that's because, of course, spelling is one of your favorite subjects, and you're an English major in education as well. So yeah, I pretty much knew you would get that right. So cruciverbalist is the answer, and our cruciverbalist, Leroy, has 8,000 points. He's in the lead, but don't get too excited, Leroy. Bryan has 4,000, Ramon has 2,000. They are definitely in striking distance, considering we're giving out 3,000 points or pesos for every correct answer in our upcoming round. And that's coming up right after this. Stay where you are. This is going to be exciting.
Playtime Entertainment, born for happiness.
Welcome back to the first semi-finals episode of Bilyonaryo Quiz B, at least our second season. Because so far, our semi-finalists have all shown incredible resolve and, well, as you can see, mental stamina. But round one was just a warm-up. The next round is designed to separate the champions from the rest. But before we do that, let's just kick back for a bit and, well, get to know our semi-finalists just a bit more. So, Bryan, yep, you've been here before, you know what it's like. Of course, it's an entirely different level when you're up against other winners of the weekly episodes. But I want to talk about something light, just to make you relax a bit more, because you're in second place, and you may need to relax a bit. I mean, I was doing a search of your song on Spotify, and people might remember that Bryan also goes by the name Liminal, Subliminal, and check out his song. Tell us about that, the inspiration for that song, and what it's all about, how you wrote that.
My debut single, Third World Romancing, is...
And only single so far.
Yeah, and only single. It's about how hard it is to, you know, love someone or be in a relationship with someone when you don't really have money to spend.
Pag walang pera.
Pag walang pera.
No money, no honey.
Yeah.
As we used to call it when I was growing up. But of course, it's much more than that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about the music, the arrangement, the instruments.
Yeah, so my main inspirations for sound really stem from the 60s pop, you know, that era of like Beatles, Beach Boys, and just the revival of that kind of sound in modern times. I can point to the Lemon Twigs, which is a favorite band of mine. So I'm really just trying to harken back to the classics, to the basics of songwriting, just writing catchy hooks, but writing about situations that I think should be talked about, or I think should be given emphasis.
Well, apparently, you're not the only one who thinks it's such a great project, because you're actually approached by an independent publisher, right? An independent music studio.
Yeah, an indie label, but for now, I deferred that offer, but let's see. in the future.
You deferred that offer because you wanted to focus on your studies.
Yeah, on my studies, obviously.
And of course, now you have 4,000 pesos. How much did you earn in the past?
I think it was 24.
So 28,000 so far,
Yeah.
much more to go. No money, no honey, doesn't apply to you anymore,
Yeah.
okay? From third world romancing to second world romancing
Yeah.
at least. Leroy, good to have you back here. You're probably surprised to hear that last question, right? Because everyone knows that one of your fortes is spelling. And again, for those who missed the episode you're in, that pendant that you're wearing is a Quiz B pendant, or spelling bee rather, a spelling bee pendant. And tell me, are you also good at solving puzzles?
I enjoy certain puzzles, like I will enjoy the sort of like logic puzzle every now and then. But if you like give me like a sliding puzzle or anything that involves having to construct a shape, I kind of start to fall apart there because I'm not that visually adept.
But word puzzles, because you're a wordsmith, you love spelling. What is the most difficult word puzzle genre or word puzzle game that you come across?
Oh boy. There's this thing in like, there's this online thing called like cryptic crosswords, and it's like it's going to give you a very short clue, and then from that short clue you have to form a word from that. But the thing is, it's like trying to only nudge you from that clue. You have to like, maybe you have to delete a part of the word to get to there. Maybe you have to like use a synonym in that clue to find the actual answer. Or like maybe you have to like really rearrange the letters.
Okay.
So like
what's it called again?
Cryptic crossword, I believe.
All right, you guys want to polish your spelling, polish your vocabulary, check that out. I'm sure you can just type it in online and you'll get puzzles for you. Thanks, Leroy, for the tip. And of course, Ramon, who was our last week winner, who now has 2,000 pesos. Still very much in the running, Ramon, because as you know, that's exactly how you won in a previous game, right? You had control of the second, pretty much control of the second round, which is the round we're going into. And you had control because civics was one of your favorite subjects, and by chance we had civics on the board. Why is civics so fascinating for you?
I think it's even for me it's an interest even since like high school stuff like that. So history, social studies, humanities, like that's been my interest like ever since like somewhat like starting grade 7.
And then you want to make it a career, right?
Yes.
Because we were talking earlier, you said, I want to be a public historian. Now, what exactly is that?
For me, like a public historian is more like not necessarily focusing on particular areas like World War II, prehistory. It's more geared towards how you present history to a wider audience. So we're not focusing on the little details, more on like the delivery of history.
It's a storytelling.
Yes.
It's the approach.
Yes.
It's a narrative that's sometimes more important than the facts themselves in order to hook people into history and from there on get them deeper, right?
Exactly.
Into the rabbit hole of really this totally get into the world of history or any other subject that you want them get into. So thank you, Ramon. All right, this is it. Final round before the bonus round. One of you will become our grand finalist, taking up the very first slot in the grand finals. But of course, let's go through this round first and make sure you understand the mechanics. Let's listen. As the competition intensifies, round 2 takes the stakes higher with tougher questions and bigger rewards. This round features 24 possible questions across 4 categories randomly drawn for today's competition. Our semi-finalists only have to choose 12 of these questions, and each is worth 3,000 pesos, for a total of 36,000 pesos in available prizes. To start round 2, the highest scoring semi-finalist from round 1 selects the first category. As always, the first semi-finalist to buzz in earns a chance to answer. A correct answer earns points and control of the next category. However, any mistake gives the remaining competitors a chance to steal and score the points. If the question remains unanswered, the last semi-finalist with a correct response retains control of the game. At the close of this critical round, 2 semi-finalists with the lowest scores will be eliminated, leaving one ultimate victor to proceed to tonight's Bilyonaryo bonus round and the grand finals at the end of the season. In case of a tie for elimination, a sudden death tiebreaker will decide the results. Will strategy, knowledge, or quick reflexes dictate today's winner? We'll find out in this exciting knockout round. That's right. With 36,000 pesos on the line in this round, round number 2, this is still anyone's game. But so much depends not just on our semi-finalists' mental fortitude and speed, but also on today's assigned categories. You know how this works, guys. You've been here before, as I said. So let's take a look at the categories to choose from. For this week, we have political quotes, obviously, famous quotations by politicians, dinosaurs, that's self-explanatory, computer science, and opera. All right, depending on which category you feel you're best at. But of course, Leroy, with 8,000 points, is in the lead. He gets to choose the category. But any one of you can answer, although Leroy gets to choose the first category and question. Yeah.
Political quotes, please.
All right, political quotes. Identify the political leader or thinker who popularized this famous quote. Okay? Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power. Bryan?
Machiavelli.
Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli. No. Let me finish the question. Power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Very famous political quote. Used to describe corrupt politicians who start off as idealistic often. Leroy.
Confucius.
That's wrong. Ramon, who'd like to steal? No, time's up. Apparently, it's a difficult category for you guys. Lord Acton is the answer. Lord Acton, or to be more precise, John Emmerich Edward Dalberg Acton, who eventually became a lord. Okay, so let's go to our next question. Leroy still gets to choose.
Political quotes, please.
All right, but you'll stay on political quotes. Okay, he feels like this is going to be his lucky question. So same thing. Identify the leader or thinker who said or popularized this quote. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Bryan?
FDR.
Wrong. Leroy?
Mahatma Gandhi.
Wrong. Ramon, just name a political leader.
Abraham Lincoln.
Well, these are all real political leaders who have actually famous quotations assigned to them, but it was Winston Churchill. I just didn't want to do an impersonation. It would have been too easy, but yes, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat, often misquoted as blood, sweat, and tears, but this is the complete quotation. All right, Winston Churchill. Let's go to our next question, and Leroy, it's still yours.
Stay in political quotes, please.
All right. Persevering. Let's go. My loyalty to my party ends, or my loyalty to my country begins. Leroy.
Richard Nixon.
You've been insisting on this category. It is not Richard Nixon. But yeah, he could have said that. Anyone could have said that. But only one Filipino politician and former president said that. And he is Manuel L. Quezon. Okay? Manuel L. Quezon. That party, of course, was the Nacionalista Party. Okay, Leroy, let me guess. Political quotes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Maybe you'll know this. And of course, Ramon, Bryan, you can try as well. Political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. That is coming from Ramon.
Lenin.
Vladimir Lenin, no. That's wrong. Bryan?
Malcolm X.
No. That's wrong. Leroy?
MLK Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. No. He wouldn't have said that, of course, because he was a pacifist. Malcolm X believed in the power of the barrel of the gun. He was a revolutionary. So was Lenin, but it was Mao Zedong, who actually gave that quote explaining why Maoism is a revolutionary kind of movement and not necessarily a pacifist movement. Okay, let's go to our next question. And apparently, Leroy still has the command of the board.
Continue the category, please.
Yeah, why not, right? Why not? Maybe this time you'll get lucky. So here it is. It is better to be feared than loved. Ramon?
Machiavelli.
This time, it is the Machiavelli quote. Yes, it is better to be feared than loved. But the important phrase is, if you cannot be both? Because he wasn't saying that it's better to be feared than to love, absolutely. But if you can't be both feared and loved, it's better to be feared than just to be loved, okay? You get to be a better leader that way and get more things done that way. Okay, so Ramon, would you like to try something else?
Let's try opera.
Oh, okay, that's a tough one. But let's see if you like opera. Listen in, anyone can answer. First staged in 1971. This landmark rock opera is loosely, Bryan?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, it is, Jesus Christ Superstar. Loosely based on the gospel accounts of the Passion of Christ. Of course, it's a rock opera, very groovy, very funky, very kind of like retro cool, but deep inside. Go through the contents of those lyrics and the mood of the song. It's of course very stirring, and it's about the passion of the Christ. Jesus Christ Superstar, music by Andrew Lloyd Webber, lyrics by Tim Rice. Okay, so you have the command of the board now, Bryan. Where would you like to go?
Dinosaurs.
You know what? I would think this might be the easiest, right? I mean, when we're kids, we love dinosaurs. But then again, it could be a trick category. Let's see if it is easy. Everyone gets to answer. Meaning great lizard. This was the first. Bryan?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Wrong. Meaning great lizard. This was the first dinosaur to be scientifically named. Ramon?
Megadactyl.
Wrong. Leroy?
Megalodon.
No, that's not right. The answer is megalosaur. Megalosaurus could also be right, but the mega part was correct because the great, right? Great lizard, Megalosaurus. Tyrannosaurus Rex, terrible lizard, right? Okay, or king, actually, no? King of the lizards. Do you still have the board,
Can
Bryan?
we still do dinosaurs?
Yeah, why not? Dinosaurs first appeared in this prehistoric period that marks the beginning. Bryan?
Triassic period.
Correct, Triassic period. Marks the beginning of the Mesozoic era. Lasted from 252 to 201 million years ago. So far, dinosaurs paying off for you, Bryan. Would you like to continue with dinosaurs?
Yes.
You now are in the lead with 10,000, but not too far away from Leroy, and indeed, not too far away from Ramon. 3,000 for every correct answer here. Anyone's game. Bryan,
Dinosaurs, please.
you sure?
Yes.
Okay. It is considered a feathered dinosaur and the earliest. Leroy, maybe you know this.
Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx. Let me guess, you know this because it's spelled difficult in a very challenging way, but it is correct. The Archaeopteryx. And the earliest known bird. Yes, the Archaeopteryx. Quite a tongue twister and also very difficult to spell. That is the answer. So Leroy, you're back in the lead. And where would you like to go with this lead?
Finnish political quotes.
All right, there's one last question in political quotes. And here it is. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. Who said that? Ramon.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Wrong. This is Bryan. For 3,000 points.
JFK.
JFK is wrong. Leroy, you chose the category. What's the answer?
Susan B. Anthony.
The answer is Abraham Lincoln. That is wrong. We're done with the political quotes. Maybe we should try something else. So, Leroy, you're still in the lead. Where would you like to go now?
Opera, please.
Opera. Okay. This operatic supergroup captivated audiences. Leroy.
Four tenors.
Wrong. This operatic supergroup captivated audiences with the soaring voices of Luciano Pavarotti, Placido Domingo. Bryan?
The Four Tenors.
Wrong. Let me finish. It's all yours. Stop the clock. This operatic supergroup captivated audiences with the soaring voices of Luciano Pavarotti, Placido Domingo, and Jose Carreras. What's the name of this group? Ramon?
King Singers?
The?
King Singers?
The King Singers. It's not the four tenors. I only mentioned three of them. The three tenors, okay? And they had these blockbuster albums, okay? And blockbuster performances in Europe. The three tenors, the famous Pavarotti, Domingo, and Carrera. All right, we are at 11,000 for Leroy, still there. Bryan, second place with 10,000. Ramon with 5,000. And Leroy still gets to choose from the board.
Opera, please.
Opera. Toreadors, or the bullfighters, the lively tune played during the podium celebrations of the Formula One Grand Prix, comes from this opera by Bryan?
Bizet.
Comes from this opera by Georges Bizet. But that's not the question. The question is, what is the opera? Title of the opera? Leroy.
Carmen.
Yes, Carmen is the answer. All right, so Leroy, you're the winner for the semifinals. Congratulations. Ramon came very close, and especially Bryan came extremely close to you. But, you know, had you gotten that last one, Georges Bizet was the composer, Carmen was the opera. Leroy, congratulations. You can breathe now. You can breathe now. We'll see you for the bonus round. Congratulations. All right, we'll be back with Leroy, who is our champion for the semifinals, moving on to the grand finals many, many weeks from now. Don't worry about that. You can relax now. We'll be back with this bonus round right after this. Welcome back. The road to becoming the next Quiz B Bilyonaryo continues. And we had a breathtaking finish to round 2 of tonight's semifinals showdown, courtesy of tonight's big winner. Who else? Leroy. That's his name. Leroy Leoncio. But remember that, because he'll be back for the grand finals. But of course, this is your chance to bring home even more cash with you. You have 14,000 pesos already. But before we go to the bonus round, just curious. I mean, you were using some kind of strategy, right, in picking out those categories.
Oh yeah, I was trying to protect my lead when picking out this category. So once I found that political quotes was difficult, I tried to stay there so I could protect it. And then once my lead was usurped, I really tried to get in as much as quickly as I could.
Interesting word you use, usurped. Okay, but anyway, you're a wordsmith. I know you love vocabulary, you love spelling. So let's see if you're going to enjoy this bonus round. But before we get to the questions, let's listen in. Find out what this is gonna be like. Welcome to the adrenaline-fueled Bilyonaryo bonus round, where fortunes can be made in just 60 heart-pounding seconds. This season, round 3 features 10 questions worth 4,000 pesos each, all from one mystery category randomly drawn for the semifinals episodes. Another season 2 innovation, we will now be circling back to skipped items. Can't crack a tough question? Simply say pass, and we will come back to it, if there is time left on the clock. All that stands between today's winner and 40,000 pesos are 60 seconds, 10 questions, some fearless decision-making, and one mystery category that we will be revealing right now. All right, so let's reveal your mystery category, and let's check out the screen. You'll see a jumble of letters forming a theme, forming a word, and it's command and conquer. Any idea what this might be like? No points for that, though.
Leaders, battles, wars.
Right, correct. Military leaders and military commanders throughout history. Okay? So, if you're ready, we'll start the timer after my first question. Let's begin. The hero of Tirad Paz.
Diego Silang.
Okay, wrong. She gained fame as the Maid of Orleans.
Joan of Arc.
Correct. In film, his character yells, "This is Sparta."
Leonidas.
Correct. German tactical genius nicknamed the Desert Fox.
Rommel.
Correct. Erwin Rommel. His favorite horse was named Marengo. Pass.
Caligula.
Caligula is wrong. He defeated the Spaniards in the Battle of Manila Bay, the commander.
Emilio Aguinaldo.
Wrong. Venezuelan icon known as El Libertador.
Simon Bolivar.
Correct. He commanded all coalition forces in Operation Desert Storm, the first Gulf War.
Churchill.
Wrong. Her equestrian statue is at the heart of Makati Central Business District.
Lady Godiva.
Wrong. That's funny. Okay, but anyway, time is up. You said Lady Godiva. Her equestrian statue is the middle of Makati Central Business District. No.
I didn't know.
Have you ever been to that part of Makati, around the Ayala Triangle?
No.
You have an equestrian horse with Gabriela Silang standing there. But anyway, let's go through the different questions and answers that you gave us. All right. We honor him as a hero of Tirad Paz. That's an easy one. Gregorio del Pilar, but you were wrong. Okay? She gained fame as the Maid of Orleans or Orleans. Joan of Arc? Yes, definitely Joan of Arc. Saint Joan. In film, his character yells, "This is Sparta." Leonidas. You weren't so sure about that, but it was indeed the correct answer. Leonidas. German tactical genius named or nicknamed the Desert Fox. General Erwin Rommel is the correct answer. You said Rommel. There's only one German Desert Fox, and that's Rommel. So that's correct. His favorite horse was named Marengo, and you said Caligula. Of course, Caligula had this weird thing about crowning a horse as an emperor, but you got that wrong. Marengo is the favorite horse of Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor Napoleon. He defeated the Spaniards in the Battle of Manila Bay. Can't even remember what you said. It's definitely nothing. Did you say Churchill?
No, I said Emilio Aguinaldo.
Emilio Aguinaldo, okay. No. It was George Dewey, Admiral George Dewey of the U.S. Navy. Venezuelan icon known as El Libertador Simon Bolivar. Yes, that is correct. Definitely. He commanded all coalition forces in Operation Desert Storm. That's where he said Churchill. No. He wasn't even a general, right? He was a politician. But anyway, it was Norman Schwarzkopf, or Stormin Norman the First Gulf War. Okay? Her equestrian statue in Makati is Gabriela Silang. And we didn't have time to get to this final question, but maybe you want to answer it just for fun. Famous nom de guerre of Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar.
Geronimo?
No. El Cid. El Cid of the Reconquista in Spain. El Cid. And let's check out. You have 4 correct answers. That gives you 16,000. Plus your earlier points, which was like 14,000. Easy mental math. 30,000 pesos. You get to come back as a grand finalist. And of course, you get to take home another 30,000 pesos, apart from your earnings in the previous round. Fantastic. Congratulations. All right. So indeed, as he heads toward the high-pressure cooker of the grand finals, remember that the stakes for him only get higher from here. So next week, the Bilyonaryo News Channel resets the BQB stage with 3 new college students. Up until then, keep your mind sharp because we at Bilyonaryo Quiz B believe that knowledge is always going to be your greatest asset, and you've proven that. Good night, everyone. We'll see you again next week.
This program was brought to you by Playtime Entertainment. Born for Happiness.